On today's episode, we talk about CGI2, who's the best team in the world.
Are you ever going to see jiu-jitsu on cable television?
I'm keeping the baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the pod. My name is Kenny, and I am here with Matt, Mr. Oast Nation himself. What is going on, brother?
Bangering, dude. We can't, Kenny, me and you cannot. We like, if I wear a hat, you don't wear a hat. If you wear a hat, I don't wear a hat. And we don't plan this. It's just how it works out. And either we're just like yin and yang, and that's balance, baby. And that's what we're here for. I'm a week away, 6 days from knee surgery. I would love to tell you guys I'm nervous, but I'm not, because I am in so much pain right now. I feel like my leg was just being tough for me. Like maybe it was adrenaline when I knew surgery was so far away. And it was just like getting me through. Remember, I could just pop it back in, pop it back out. Like PGF, it was like almost like a cool party trick.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, watch this, guys. Popping it. Now I'm like hurting getting out of bed. I'm like, this surgery.
Well, didn't you get that cortisone shot too?
On my right leg, I get them 4 times a year.
Got it.
I have not got anything on my left.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I need surgery. But I'm like, just like, it's like having a real bad toothache on a Sunday, dude. And the dentist don't open till Monday. That's kind of how I'm feeling, and I'm just like wearing it. So surgery 6 days. Low key excited about it.
Is this a surgery you've had before, like on the opposite leg, like something you're familiar with?
I've had the meniscus repaired on the opposite leg, but there's something else going on in there that he doesn't understand, why it's popping in and popping out like
Until
that.
He looks at it.
He's like, that could be the meniscus. He's all, but I have severe arthritis in that one, and he's gonna have to go in there and do some kind of bone graft type deal, which is like more of the serious. It's gonna load me up for like 5 to 6 weeks. But other than that, I'm pretty excited, you know, but it could be worse. Our gym could caught fire, Kenny.
Right. It did, but it could have.
Our boys at La Malavita, their gym caught fire.
I know. And
it was like, it seems like someone did it on purpose.
You know, good on them for making it happen and finding a place to do it in the meantime, so that they're still able to serve their community and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like, people don't realize,
it doesn't matter.
If you don't train jiu-jitsu, you don't realize how like essential this is for some people, like for their mental. You know what I mean? Like it's a requirement. It's a good thing for me, I would say, but I wouldn't say it's essential for me. You know what I mean? Like, but I know some people that are like, they would be a mental wreck if it wasn't for their jiu-jitsu release every week.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a benefit to them. It's like a requirement. Like, they need this to function. So when a gym catches fire, like, that's a huge thing, you know what I mean, for a lot of people's lives. And, you know, to make it work and find a location that's going to allow you to train out of there in the meantime is pretty rad.
And for it to be arson.
Right.
The guy Google reviewed, he was like, oh, this gym is fire.
Yeah.
And then the professor goes and finds out his gym caught fire. And I guess this guy had Google reviewed many other places that also caught on fire.
Yeah.
So,
we talked about this a couple of weeks ago.
No, we didn't record it though. We recorded it, but we never published it.
Really?
That was the first time. Yeah, I remember that was episode 66, that piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Episode we had to keep doing. Yeah. We never put it on the thing. So, yeah, shout out to the La Malavita. I hope you guys get back on your feet. Go buy some merch for La Malavita. I think they have like a sweatshirt or some kind of merch that you can buy that help build their gym back. Yeah, we'll clip
this and we'll collab them in it so that they can maybe explain more about the whatever it is they're doing to help out. But
yeah, because I know something, but not a lot. They can explain more. That's why I think jiu-jitsu and biker gangs are very similar. Would you say? Would you agree, Kenny?
I would say, yeah, that we've talked about the brotherhood aspect. I think a lot of that too. Like I've mentioned, there's a tie between like military and jiu-jitsu gyms, you know, because you're looking for that sense of like connection and brotherhood and struggle. And I think that's a lot of the reason that a lot of military guys join biker gangs as well, or motorcycle clubs, is because of that. You know what I mean? They're looking for a sense of structure, you know, rank hierarchy. They're looking for a sense of community. They're looking for a sense of shared struggle. And jiu-jitsu is able to provide all of that.
You got a clubhouse, you fly colors, like whether it's your gi, your patches on your
Right.
gis, your team. It's a whole thing. So
Yeah.
that's a story for another day. But I always thought that was kind of very similar thing. So what's going on, Kenny?
There's a lot of CGI news that's starting to slowly leak out. Nothing like
We don't
major.
got no spoilers like last week.
No. You know, it's I almost feel like the first CGI round was kind of magical because we didn't know anything about it. We didn't know the format. We didn't know who was going to be in it. So when they were dropping the names individually, it was like, and it was going on at the same time as ADCC. So you knew that anybody that went in there and went to CGI was stolen from ADCC. So it was almost like an moment, you know? And we don't really have those. And I think it's kind of smart that they switched it up and are doing this team format tournament because it's a new kind of like, oh shit, we got to watch now because there's nothing predictable. There's nothing about last tournament that's going to be the same other than maybe like the pit.
I think going for the $1 million individually is still a cool thing.
I agree.
But to get more guys involved, more elite guys.
Right.
Because one thing I've said about jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu, there's no disguising your jiu-jitsu. Either you're him or you're not him. Mm-hmm. And the people that are that guy are going to win. So it's like, hey, I'm great. Not me personally, but say, hey, I'm world-class jiu-jitsu guy. But you got your hierarchy guys, your staples in the game. We're going to go for the $1 million. You're not going to get lucky and catch him with a heel hooker.
Right.
That guy's going to win probably. Right. But making it a team format, hey, we could all get it. Let's combine our forces with Buchecha. Let's combine our forces with a Nicky Rod. And then we can form a bad overall team, and then you can get more mega stars competing.
You know what I think is kind of cool is we kind of missed with Buchecha retiring from jiu-jitsu, competitive jiu-jitsu to go MMA. We kind of missed a lot of really great potential matchups with guys like Nicky Rod and stuff like that because that was kind of like the new guard coming up as he was kind of departing. And
they both did ADCC together.
Was that Nicky Rod's first ADCC?
Where he fought Cyborg?
Yeah.
They were both there. Buchecha made the finals against Gordon. But that was like the one time I think they were in the same tournament. But other than that, yeah, we did kind of miss that, you know. So some people...
Well, I think that
in our comment.
This throws up a lot of like potential, like, oh, fuck, you know, this is a matchup we might not have ever seen. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for this tournament. You know, what else was going to bring Buchecha back into competitive jiu-jitsu? It had to be a high dollar tournament, you know?
Right. Exactly. That's what's going to, and you know, he had a high, on what I'm hearing, birdies in the air have said that he had offered money to do CJI last year and he wanted to, we all know that, but like they wanted him. They like, it wasn't just like, hey, you're going to get this no matter what. Like, I think his price was a little different.
Right. Understandable.
It wasn't $10,001. It was more. Right. But I think some people forget about how good Marcus Almeida is.
I agree. There were some people in the comments saying that, like, you know, the game's changed since he was in the competitive space, and it's like, do you think he stopped training jiu-jitsu? Do you think he just? Yeah,
you think Buchecha is not doing jiu-jitsu? I assure you, he's still training. Again, and I assure you, that room is still dangerous.
Yeah.
I think he's coming. It'll be also a little bit like, don't forget who you're talking to here.
Right.
Like, don't put some respect on my name.
Right.
If you think Hocha did good last year, you just watch this year, dude. Like that, it'll be. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. You know, I've remember watching him when I was blue belt, and you know, we'd be there, and all the checkman guys would be jumping up and down, going all crazy. Like, it's a whole experience, especially when the checkmat team. Maybe this is a little, you know, homer dick riding, whatever. But when the whole checkmat team gets together and they all sit in the same area and they all jump up and down and go crazy when their guys are competing, like that energy alone at CJI, when all the checkmats sitting in one little section and they're all jumping up and going crazy and like,
right.
It is something to experience.
I think it's cool too because of the team format. It's not like, oh shit, we've got an athlete. You know what I mean? Like our team has an athlete in CJI. It's like, dude, we got a team in CJI. And I think
this team could say we're the best team in the world. Like, so what what it's coming down to, it's kind of like what Super Cup is trying to do at a lower level. The CJI platform is saying, these are all the biggest teams that everybody knows about.
Right.
And everybody my whole jiu-jitsu could say, well, Gracie,
this is the World Cup.
Gracie Baja. And this is the world. Basically, it's a World Cup.
Right.
Exactly, Kenny.
Jiu-jitsu.
Is a world. Yes. And this will stake claim. Who is the best team? We talk a lot of shit. We have talked shit on Gracie Baja and some of the stuff they do. They come out and they win this fucking tournament.
Right.
They could be, hey, CJI 2025 CJI winners.
Right.
That is a staple. We're the best team. Come train with us.
Right.
All those other teams have their best. They didn't make it. We won. So whatever team wins is going to have some huge bragging rights, and their schools probably will be rewarded for it with memberships. So it's a huge deal.
Right. I think it's cool too that that he's allowing like Daisy Fresh to have a team and some of the like not worldwide gyms, you know what I mean, but are still
Jeff Jitsus.
Right. Right. They've got a world-class competitive team. You know what I mean? Like there's Daisy Fresh did something special, made a name for themselves, and then they've earned themselves a spot at CGI, which is pretty rad. You know what I mean? So
it's pretty cool. I wonder who's going to be on that like outsider team that like doesn't have it.
Right.
Like who's a free agent? I know Mikey Musumeci is he could fight for all the teams. He's trained for all of them.
Right.
He jumps teams more than I jumped girlfriends in my 20s, dude. Like the guy just moves around. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it'll be.
I don't think they'll let. I think he's tied to a UFC at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And this would
what
be
if UFC had a team?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Have you seen any, a quick side note before we jump back to CGI, have you seen any of the Bryce Mitchell footage lately?
The Twister stuff?
Yeah, where he went out to just 10 Planet HQ and was, doing some training out there and getting some
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. He's legit. He's a little off, but
right. I think he did really well at adapting a jiu-jitsu style for combat. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's constantly thinking like, yes, strike, but how can I submit from here too? Which is neat.
He's legit one of the few guys who legit uses, that game.
Right.
He likes to get to the Twister game and all that. So, but yeah, I'm excited for CJI. I'm excited to see guys get some respect that they deserve. I'm excited to see who is the best team out there going. Obviously, we have our favorites. Let's take Checkmat out because that's where we're going to lean because those are the guys we know.
Right.
What team do you think has the advantage?
It's hard to tell until we see what the final roster is.
And let's just hypothetically say Gordon is on New Wave. Okay. So you're going to have Marigali and Gordon, top staples of New Wave.
That could be tough.
And then I don't know who else is on there.
I think Asari's going to be there.
Okay.
Because I think that they were saying it was going to be like Asar. There was like a couple. There was one of them was oh my God, what's his name? Gordon's buddy that has like the missing hair on his beard and
oh shit, I don't know, dude.
Gary Tonin.
Gary Tonin.
I think Gary Tonin is the same size weight wise as Asari, but I think Asari would be a better pick.
Tonin's a fucking beast, dude.
Tonin is a beast, but
he is so good, dude. He's so good. That'd be crazy.
Do you think that? Do you think 10 Planet takes Varela?
I mean, I think that'd be smart, right? Who do you think they're going to throw out there for heavyweight?
In my experience, the 10th Planet, when 10th Planet builds a team, it tends to be the HQ guys. So it tends to be the guys that train with Eddie the most, that live in LA, or maybe like, because I always consider like the Boogie and Geo schools kind of like real close extensions of HQ.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you get the Barches and the Kyle Baines and all that stuff.
Baines,
yeah. So I think from a heavyweight standpoint, if they could get him, because I don't know if he's still in contract with PFL/Bellator, I would say, and if he's not injured, because remember he was supposed to face Gordon recently, Vinny Megalesh would be their would be their heavyweight pick. I saw that they were saying that it could go PJ Barch, or what's the new guy, the Russian guy, Fedor.
They got the Bioval.
Yeah.
Like PGF.
Yeah. So he was good, but I think PJ's a better, more rounded grappler at this current juncture.
And kind of a better name right now.
Yeah. So I think if they were to pick in that weight category, I would go PJ Barch over the other two options.
They were saying Eddie's just happy he got a Russian.
Yeah.
With Fedor. He's just happy he's got a Russian. He converted one. I'm like, good for Eddie. That would be sick, dude.
Yeah. They've got a potential and whatnot, but I think where it's going to come down to is we know that bigger guys are a problem to deal with when we're talking high level jiu-jitsu. Everybody that's going to be competing in here is going to have high level game. So it's less of a, like, where are the advantages coming in? It's going to be size is going to be, one of the biggest advantages that you can't mitigate. So if they run it how Quintet was, you may have a small guy versus a big guy in a match at some point in time. So who is going to be the guy that can beat the Gordon, that can beat the Marigali, that can beat the Nicky Rod? You know what I mean? Like you're going to have somebody that's that size, that speed, and that skill.
I'm coming back because maybe this is the team we know, but if they add, which I have not heard anything, this is just me hypothetical here. If Jensen Gomes is the other guy for Checkmate, this is, I don't see it. It's going to be hard for us.
How big is he?
Hard for Checkmate to lose.
How big is he?
Elder Cruz, Tackett.
Yeah.
Gomes, Bushesha.
Yeah. Do you think that they'll train together?
Add Wardzinski in there too.
Do you think they'll train together? Do you think that they'll? Because they were talking about Lucas being the team captain, yeah?
Yeah, but I mean, that's what everybody says in the comments. Lucas coaching, but I'm like, I know he was like one of the head coaches for like the Worlds team. He's really involved at HQ, but like, you would think Leo would be, unless one FC. I know Leo's really, really contracted to one with Tom DeBlas, so maybe he can't.
Right.
But if they're letting Bushesha go, that's probably why. I mean, Leo's there now, It's like, no, Bushesha's coming. I don't know, man. We're so far away, but I'm like, just want a fast forward button.
I think what they were smart to do is, remember I was saying like last season, it was like a lot of like, what's the next name they're going to drop? Excitement there. Now there's so many potentials. They're being smart about it and they're throwing out the potentials. And they're like, who do you think? So now everybody gets to speculate. They get to sit around and do what we're doing, do this jiu-jitsu math.
Podcast clips, all those clips they get to throw out there.
Yeah. It's just
then for fucking $20, you guys want to Venmo me or cash at me $20, I'll throw your name in the clip. I was like, fucking so-and-so from, oh yeah, because we're hoes for money.
fuck?
Fucking Chad Rybar, you heard of him? That guy's a fucking monster.
The zombie?
Dude. Fucking get
the
it.
zombie?
The zombie? Oh, if they get if Checkmat adds Chad Rybar, the zombie, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
That's $20, Chad.
You're not submitting him.
You're not submitting him. He will crawl out there. You know what I mean? You want some fucking gray chest hair on your nose, dude? Shout out, Chad. Okay, what else we got, dude?
So big jiu-jitsu events lately that have really kind of garnered attention outside of the jiu-jitsu community, which is what everybody's trying to reach right now. That's the only way we're going to make money and get the sport to grow, is how do you get people to watch that aren't, your average jiu-jitsu, that aren't Flow subscribers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have it on a platform. And this isn't just CJI. This is anybody.
How do you get your wife to watch football?
Right.
That's what they're trying to figure out with jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And here's the breaking news of that, Kenny. Nobody's wives really watch fucking football.
I know.
So like that whole narrative, like we want every man to expect, let's watch this jiu-jitsu, just like to watch MMA. Look I know a lot of regular dudes who just don't like MMA because they think the ground stuff is lame.
Yeah.
Until they do one class. And I think that's why you were saying, like, on TV, jiu-jitsu on the standard TV, why is that something that people still want to do when standard TV is dying?
Right. So my argument for that is I haven't had, like, okay, let's tie us into this. There is no point in time where I ever see what we do with this show or any variant of this show being on a cable television network, on an ESPN, on a Fox Sports, on a whatever, a DAZN or whatever. I don't think that that our format is built for that. One, we're too wild. You know what I mean? Like just,
yeah.
We're the the 90s Howard Stern of jiu-jitsu podcasts. If you really watch what's out there and then watch what we do, and there's nothing shocking necessarily about what we're doing. We're the counterculture. We are the opposite end of what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. Two, I don't think that the average person that is, you want to grab the newest audience, So how do I get these young people that are coming into jiu-jitsu or have an interest in jiu-jitsu to watch? Well, they're not watching television. My 22-year-old daughter does not pay for cable TV. You know what I mean?
Right.
99.9% of the content that my child consumes is off of the internet. So you got to go to where your audience is. Nobody's watching TV anymore. The TV demographic is like 45 plus, and that demographic is dying off on a daily basis. I haven't had a cable TV subscription in a decade. I won't. I have no need to. Everything I want to watch is...
I don't even know what my local weather girl looks like.
Right. Exactly.
The Channel 11, remember her? Julian Barbary back in the day?
No.
Good Morning LA or whatever, to wake up, whatever. She was hot. Good stuff.
But
yeah, I don't know. You're right.
So you're going to have to go to honestly, YouTube is probably your best bet. Hands down. You know what I mean? I think, and there's no paywall. It's good quality. You know what I mean? Like you can find 8K content, 4K content. Like YouTube has the bandwidth to broadcast what you need. So it's if you're whatever jiu-jitsu event or jiu-jitsu content you're trying to create, I think the paywall stuff is dead. You know what I mean? I really do think that, Flow probably isn't going to make it another 10 years.
Yeah, man.
I think if IBJJF wisens up and pulls up from Flow. See, I don't know how much Flow is giving IBJJF to broadcast those, masters level, not masters level, but high tier tournaments.
I think Flow just offered them And they're like, yeah, sure. I think they were just the first ones that come around. You know, we have all this, the racing and this and that. So, I mean, Flow's got to be doing something right. But to me, I think it's a horrible app. I think it's horrible. I think it's a freaking money. They took my money, dude. I was so hard to get out of it. It was just,
it's a pain in the ass. You gotta,
They try to charge you all the money for the year up front. I'm like, what are we doing? I remember one time I bought, I just want to watch my guys compete, my team, and I paid for it. And then I just figured it's like $32 a month, but I didn't know it was all front. And they charged me like $140 or something. I was like, what? I was like so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, I canceled the next day and like, you want to cancel? Yeah, for the year. You already paid for the year. I'm like, dude, I hate Flow.
I agree. And I think that, and that's the thing too, is that you do that and now it leaves a bad taste in someone's mouth. You know what I mean? So now it's like, since Flow screwed somebody over, they're never going to go back to Flow. So that's just one set of eyes that's for sure never going to see your content. You know what I mean? Like nobody's really having that experience with YouTube. You know what I mean?
The way to grow UFC is the same. To grow Jiu-Jitsu is the same way UFC was growing.
Yeah.
You get money, big money guys who love the sport, and you find somebody and you give them the money and you put money behind it, a financial backer, and then that's how you do it. Kind of like how Craig Jones got his money from, the crypto guy. And then now he's got his money, 17 million this time, right? Or something like that. Like, he showed the thing. Like, so like he's got a backer this time. I don't know. We don't know. I have no idea who that is this time. And then, same with, with BMAC, with PGF, you look for investors to invest into your company on help build it. That's the way to make it grow. It's not, everybody has this dream of being like, hey, we love your sport here. I was discovered in Walmart and now I'm a model and hey, that's not going to fucking happen. You got to promote yourself and pitch yourself. And that's how you're going to do it. No TV companies will be like, that thing on YouTube, that CJI on YouTube, it did pretty good. Would you guys like to be on channel 2? That ain't going to happen.
Right.
It is never going to happen.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is again, the demographic they're going after, they're not watching channel 2. So it's like, why would I want to step away from the people that are already supporting me? You know what I mean? Like, I think CJI knocked it out of the park with going YouTube the first route. And I think that they'll probably do that again this time. And I think, PGF was smart about that. They only have the finals night against a paywall or whatever. So you get 4 nights of world-class jiu-jitsu, like top tier shit. And if you want a lot of jiu-jitsu guys already have a Fight Pass subscription. So it's like the majority of them are going to just be able to jump right over to Fight Pass and watch the rest of it. So I think, what I'm getting at overall is that like, one, I see where we live in the space right now of YouTube, and I think that's kind of going to be our home base. You know what I mean? Like we're going to have our content on Spotify, we're going to have our content on YouTube, and I think that's probably it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, with the podcast audio, you'll be able to find that on any podcast platform, but when it comes to the actual, like the majority of our video content is going to live on those 2 places, and that's where you're going to be able to find us.
We were talking about this briefly before we started recording. We see these podcasts or the YouTube channels that are bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still like, man, and we've talked to people in this space and be like, we're broke. We don't got no money.
Right.
Like, I feel like someone's got to be the ones to break through. There's got to be 2 idiots to break through and say, this is how you fucking make some money doing this.
Right.
And I feel like maybe that's our job. I want to make some fucking cash.
I remember the first time I had heard about Fighter and the Kid, because I look at podcasts that aren't in our space, and I kind of look at stuff that's existed in the past, and I'm like, what would we be like the closest thing to? And I feel like maybe that's kind of our closest vibe. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we have a Fighter and the Kid-esque feel.
OG style.
OG. Yeah. And I remember the first time I heard, like, this is 2015. And I'm like, Brennan Schaub is whipping around in a Ferrari because of podcast money?
Mm-hmm.
And I just started thinking, like, what? Like, there's money to be made. You know what I mean? Even in this space. So it's like, how do we get there?
I think we all plan on jiu-jitsu 5 years from now being huge.
Yeah.
Because I think it's now on the brink. Thanks to guys like Craig Jones and BMAC and those upper guys that have been in the space even longer than us that are really trying to push the media part of it.
Right.
I think that like it will in 5 years. I think we've said before, anybody in this space is going to be that. Like you're going to all get rewarded. I think that's what we're all hoping. It's like all feel like we bought Bitcoin in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like, we're here, and then eventually, boom, we'll fly, And I think everybody will respectively fly. That's all. But I just feel like there's money here. And and you're like, well, Matt, are you all for the money? Yeah, I am. I'm all for it.
Dude, you've been doing jiu-jitsu for over 15 fucking years. Like it's not even
20
that.
years in the game, 15 in the gi,
Yeah. It's like, dude, you've already shown that you're here for the love of the sport. You know what I mean? Guess what? Yeah. Now it's time to make the money. I don't need to prove.
I would do this for free. I do this for free after class every day. We're just bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is nothing. What you're hearing me can't say is nothing different than after class when we're all just laying there like Jeff Goldblum with our shirt open, with our gis open on the mats is bullshitting. That is nothing different than what this podcast is. But if we're going to be here, I'm trying to fucking push it. And I feel like maybe we're the ones. Maybe we got to be the Jackie Robinson of the Jiu-Jitsu podcast space to boom. Now we're making money. Now follow us. It found the way. Here's the doors open. Right. You know what I mean, come on this way. This is how you do it. So no one seemed to figure it out yet. A lot of these fighters have individual sponsors where they're getting paid by them, or off their instructionals and that. But I don't think the podcast itself are making money. If I'm wrong, DM us. Tell us how you're making it, because then maybe we'll follow you. But like maybe we're the ones that got to do it.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And the last kind of a CGI thing that I want to touch on before we move to another topic here is, there is the potential of us to end up at CJI, via maybe a media standpoint, maybe a viewership standpoint, maybe a mixture of both. It would be, I think that as closely as we're tied to people that are at the top of the Checkman organization, I think it would be cool to be there on the ground floor with those guys. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think, I have no problem being, especially from our organization, the team organization, being a voice piece for them. Like if they're like, hey, talk about this. We've kind of done that before.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that's what our job is for this team, so be it. That's fine. That's cool. I mean, I'm down, but I definitely, dude, I want to be at CJI. I plan on being at CJI by hook or by crook. I'll get there. We just put suits on and cameras. We'll walk to the freaking front door like we belong in that bitch.
Right.
We're in.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to go. I want to go real bad. I'm not going to miss it. I'm a fan at first,
Yeah. He hasn't announced the venue yet, so I wonder if it's going to be Thomas and Mack again, or if a $17 million budget means a larger facility.
But then he'd be kind of going off of what he said originally, right? What he said in CJI1 is like, so you bought a bigger event, you could just pay the fighters more.
Right.
So maybe that just means opening up more weight classes, or opening up a women's division, or opening up. And then if you're going to do that, you're going to have a third day.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too, is I think the team format opens up the weight class thing. You know what I mean? Where it's like before, it's like, man, we had an over 88 kilo bracket and under 88 kilo bracket, if you add another bracket, it's going to be so long. You're going to have to add another day. Well, I think by creating a team format, it's like, okay, well, every team gets one guy at the weight. So you're getting more weight classes without, and including more people in the jiu-jitsu space without necessarily having to extend it. But there could be bigger super fights, could be a couple more super fights with this budget. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what this budget translates to. And does it end up in Vegas again? We don't necessarily know that. We're assuming it's going to be Vegas again, but it might not be.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, we don't know. It doesn't have to be.
Right. What if this shit was Staples? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. That'd be sick. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I never thought of that. We were all assuming it's just going to be a Vegas trip with the family.
Right.
It's like, oh, sorry, guys, in Arizona. I don't know what you guys want to do now. Go to the taco shop, I guess, because we're going to tell the wife, hey, I don't know what you're going to do now.
Yeah.
We thought it was Vegas. It's not. That'd be sick, dude.
One of the other things we wanted to talk about.
We've talked about blue to purple, what to expect. We've talked about or white to blue and blue to purple.
Right.
So
purple to brown. Purple to brown.
Purple to brown.
What does it look like to get from purple to brown?
This is what I expect from my brown belts, okay?
A scoped knee?
You're going to have a knee injury. I've said that plenty of times. You're going to be a little banged up. End of your purple belt career, your knee starts to get a little banged up. Probably an engagement.
Oh, settling down.
Yes. The brown settles down, dude. You're probably going to be engaged because for about days you finally found one and she locks you in. An engagement.
She had the good snacks.
Mm-hmm. A little, and then you're probably going to be looking up stupid stuff like doing jiu-jitsu at your wedding dance. Don't fucking do it, you idiots. And then but honestly, you need to be selfish. Brown belts are selfish. And brown belts are selfish because you're so freaking close. Mm-hmm. They're not teachers yet. They're so close. They may have as a purple belt, I want to see you trying to help more and be this. But when you're brown belt, you're focus mode. I would go in there, I would mangle guys, and I would just leave. We've talked, remember Church has brought up oh, I didn't even like my brown belt. You come and just beat me up and never said hi.
You've talked about just getting a locking and sweeping and wait until Poncho looked your way before you hit it.
Right. And then, yeah, I was my mission was to get my black belt. That was it. So you're mission based, you're engaged, you got a knee injury, you're Googling stuff you shouldn't be Googling. And you've probably lost a little bit of fundamentals at brown belt.
You're becoming very game focused.
You're inverting, you're doing wild stuff, you're being flashy because you're trying to stunt on the lower belts. So that's pretty much what I think, what I'm looking for from my brown belts. Arrogant, cocky, aggressive, take no prisoners. Got an old lady at the house now. You know what I mean? She's probably a blue belt. You know. You guys both want to take pictures and you take a lot of selfies after class with you both want to get the jiu-jitsu wedding cake with the two people in geese on top. Just don't. just don't. Okay? And then just have a real wedding. Well, I see the jiu-jitsu at the weddings, they're rolling as the first dance. That's the gayest shit I've ever seen.
I've never seen that. Thank God.
You've never seen that?
I've never seen that.
And I got to quit saying that word. That's the lamest shit I've ever seen when you see a bride and groom and they both train jiu-jitsu. Or the groomsmen are all wearing their gis and the husband's wearing his gi too. Oh, that's his tuxedo.
I've never seen it. Is this maybe an early 2000s jiu-jitsu thing? I feel like I haven't seen this online at all.
Well, the gi is frowned upon now. So there's you're not going to see guys saying kids.
True. Yeah.
Okay. But maybe this is like 2015, 2016.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's a 10 planet wedding out there in like a tuxedo rash guard.
Oh, it's out there. It's out there. If it's out there, send it to us. Like then all of a sudden the wife, she's like a one stripe blue belt. She knows a couple things. So she takes the husband and she like scissor sweeps him and like judo throws him, you know, and I'm like, and everybody's like, ooh, no one even knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
We just told you can't sell it on TV. You're trying to sell it to Mima and Peepaw who don't understand what's going on. The lady who just did your hair, you spent $600 getting your hair done. Is like, what are you doing? But yeah, jiu-jitsu weddings, dude, whack. Don't do it. I frowned upon it. And that happens at brown belt. Your life is jiu-jitsu, right? Everything's about it. The jiu-jitsu wedding it's cringy, dude.
Church actually sent me a video the other day on New Year's Eve.
Oh, whoa, what kind of video? What kind of video?
It was a jiu-jitsu video.
What kind of video?
Some gym
cowboy hat on or cowboy hat off, dude?
Is there a difference?
Dude. Those clothes. Below the steering wheel.
So some gym on New Year's Eve did a John Wick roll where everybody just went to Goodwill and bought cheap suits and then came in and rolled in the suits.
I saw that. He sent that to me too. That was all right, I guess. It's been done. It's been done. You know, yeah, we're dangerous at a wedding for sure. But you posted something, people just in regular clothes. Rolling.
Yeah. You got a hoodie on. Guess what? It's got sleeves and collars. Still getting tossed.
Maybe I can't do it now because I'm about to go on the shelf. But maybe when I get back, I'm like, hey, everybody on Wednesday, no gi, wear shitty clothes that like just regular clothes.
Yeah.
And let's fucking roll in regular ass gear.
Yeah. Jeans and like a flannel or jeans and like a fucking a hoodie or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Clothes you don't care about. Right.
Right.
You know, your old tap out shirts, you know, stuff like that. Just bring those and we'll freaking get after it.
Right. Right. And it's not no gi. You know what I mean? Everything's legal. Can you collar choke with that t-shirt? Let's see it.
Yeah. Just all grips, all everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that'd be fun. It'd be a fun little thing to do.
I agree. That'd be dope.
Especially kids. Like I would like to have my kids class if I had a kids class, which they would never do. That is not smart. That is not smart. If I was teaching a kids class, like have the kid like wear a backpack.
Yeah. Get tossed.
Right. And throwing with it. Like, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Right. Or how quickly can you get out of the backpack too? If you're the kid, like that's essential to know too. Like I need to dump this dead weight and this extra grip for.
Yeah, this collar drag. That's about to freaking wreck me.
Yeah. Yeah. We got some listener questions. We had some people hit us up this week, send us some interesting thoughts. This was actually a good one. This is from Denny92 at Denny92. Thoughts on
Reginald Denny? He's back?
Jesus.
No.
Thoughts on in-house blue belt tournaments. Winner gets promoted to purple.
I mean, here's the story. I kind of was a part of one of those.
Really?
Yeah, I was back in the day, my old professor said whoever but it was for a stripe. This is how desperate.
See, stripes are different. See,
I
think people think, okay, so we always talk about like the fastest way to get promoted to your next belt level is to go win tournaments that mean something. Go win worlds, you know? If you win worlds at blue, there's no disputing you're that motherfucker. Let's give you your purple. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. Your in-house tournament ain't fucking worlds, bro.
No, and the different weight classes is going to throw off the skill level. Yeah. Right. So that it's kind of merged that whole idea. Maybe it's like a weight class tournament, like everybody's the same weight, maybe. But my thing was I was going for a stripe and I was going for a blue belt because I was already 4-year white belt. And they're like, hey, my old professor's like, it's just put a piece of tape and a picture of it. And he sent it to the group chat on the wall, on the padded wall. He's like, winner gets this. If Matt wins, he gets his blue belt tonight. And we went in there. And I rolled and I went through the whole thing. And at the very end, Alexis jumps on my back when I'm not looking. And she chokes me. Rear naked chokes me. And I I didn't get it.
And she got a piece of tape?
No, she was already purple. She was already. I didn't get it. I fucking went for like an hour. And I didn't get it. It was a different time back then.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Different.
That is such a
real. I was really upset at her.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even planning on fighting her. She jumps on my back when I won. It was like almost like a shark thing. She jumps on my back and squeezes and I tap. She said, "Oh, you tap. We still got 30 minutes left. It's over." Boom, done. I was like,
damn.
But yeah, I mean, if your professor says blue belt tournament for the belt, go get your belt, brother. Don't win.
Yeah.
As freaking Adrian on Rocky would say, win.
Mark leg action, cauliflower ear, drain it or keep it?
I'm poor. I'm keeping it. And I'm married and she ain't going nowhere. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keeping it. 100%. You?
I guess it depends on how big it is. I guess my biggest concern would be like, do I need to go to a doctor? Like, is it, I don't know.
Like, didn't I say last time it's like getting pregnant? We all say what we would do if we were pregnant.
Right. And then it's different when it happens.
And then when the baby's in there, you're like, dude, I got to get rid of this baby or whatever.
Bro, do you ever watch It's Always Sunny?
No, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't watch it religiously.
The very first season, there's an episode where Mac starts going to these like anti-abortion rallies. And he's like protesting with the people that are against abortion. And this girl is like all enamored with him and whatnot. And she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you said that." And she goes, "You're so hardcore." He goes, "You think that's hardcore?" And he pulls out a list. And she goes, "What's this?" And she unfolds it. And he's like, "It's a list of doctors I plan on killing." She goes, "There's already 2 names crossed out." He goes, "I know." And then she hooks up with him like immediately.
Hey, and that's not like my stance. I'm not giving my stance on my abortion stance.
No.
Don't let this red wall. No, I'm just joking.
So then they end up hooking up, and then like the next day she's just like, "Mac, I'm pregnant," and he immediately goes, "We got to get rid of that thing."
But no, I feel like I'm always saying like, yeah, I wouldn't drain it, but I've never really had it. So
yeah.
Once I get it, I'm like, oh, dude, I don't like it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
do you ever get cauliflower ear envy? Do you ever look at dudes that you've been training with and be like, fuck, I mean, like, he's a black belt, I'm a black. I wish I had a little bit of cauliflower ear.
Maybe when I was like a lower belt.
Right? Yeah.
And I was like trying to like tell people I train, like, dude, you train? That doesn't look like it. I'm a white belt too, just like you. Like, I think it's like a lower belt thing.
Is that like the same thing as like photoshopping your blue belt picture black and white so it makes it look like you're not?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You black and white your blue belt picture to make it look like you got a black belt on.
Yeah.
Same thing, dude. It's the same thing.
Same
it's kind
energy.
of like you want to look tougher. You're in the club and you want to show people that you're in the club.
Right.
Like that story you told me, and that you want to roll up and be like, look at this. Like that's what you're trying to do. When if you were really that, you wouldn't have to do that at all.
Right. I honestly, Nate, or
hey, again, before you guys come at me with pitchforks, that was a joke. Okay. That is not my stance on abortion. Okay. Leave me alone.
Mark, I don't know. I don't know if I would drain it or keep it. In all reality, I say I would probably keep it just because.
It all depends as if your dad gave it to you or not, I guess, right? Another abortion joke. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm like, what? My dad gave me cauliflower ear?
Your uncle or whatever, dude. You got it and you didn't want it. Against your will? You keeping it or you getting rid of it?
Cauliflower ear?
If you got cauliflower... This is it. This is episode 67. If you got cauliflower, this is the last one. So much for the money. If you got cauliflower ear, Kenny, in a street fight against your will, would you keep it? Or would you rather, if you got cauliflower in the gym...
Wait, did I win or lose?
Was it planned in the gym? You would keep it, but if you got it like in the street against your will, you'd get rid of it? Dude, this is like a real this is a bad pro-life, pro-choice joke.
Oh man.
And it's
well, if I won the street fight, then I'm keeping it. But if I lost a street fight,
it was against your will though.
Yeah, but if
you didn't know the guy,
if I still won the fight.
Okay.
You know, that's my level of freak.
He's keeping the baby. Oh, dude, we're gonna make such a clip, and I'm gonna put that matata. I'm gonna keep the baby in the background with the music. This clip is gonna get so demonetized so fast, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good, Kenny.
Last question, sir. We got Josh Dak _ best guard players at ultra heavyweight in your opinion.
Look, the best guard players are Gordon Ryan is a big guy, great guard player.
Right.
Craig Jones is not a small guy. He's a good guard player. The best guard players are, Bushesh is a good guard player. He's a good half guard, good everything. So those are the cream of the cream. And that's a boring answer, but it's true. It's hard to find a black belt who has a horrible guard. Like, I would like to say, like, I have a pretty good guard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting myself in that list by any means, but I'm just saying, like, I would like to say it's hard to find someone, like, if you get the black belt, you got to be well-rounded. I don't know. Do you know of any, like, not well-rounded black belts? Well, I guess maybe Nicky Rod. I'm not saying he's not well-rounded, but I'm saying, like, he does not like to play on his back at all.
Right.
I know he can, but he's not like a guy you ever. When's the last time you seen Nicky guard full guard on somebody on his back?
Never.
Like, I can't remember.
No.
So, like, I think that answer is.
Do you think his game changes significantly as he gets older and starts to slow down? You know what I mean? Like, his game is so based off of his athleticism and his power and his speed and his explosiveness. You know,
As somebody who's 40, I would say yes. I would assume.
Did you have a different style when you were, let's say, a purple?
Oh, I was a meathead.
Yeah.
I was freaking always slamming and passing and trying to cartwheel over people and doing crazy stuff, you know, but never at his extent by any means. Yeah.
Right.
I never looked like that. You know what I mean? My body, even though I was in shape, never, you know, looked like that. But he's definitely a 1%er, but I've never seen him do guard. So if I was saying guards for big guys, I would say, you know, even guys like Gabe Gonzaga, who always play up top, he's got good bottom. All these guys got good guards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they're all good. I know DC, Daniel Cormier got his black belt.
And he says he hates being on his back. That
from Leo's brother, he said he won't even sleep on his back. So, but I mean, he is a black belt grappler for sure. Like, how are you not going to give Olympic gold medals I think just because you don't play back doesn't mean you can't be a black belt. Just in general, I've never seen personally a black belt who doesn't have some sort of a guard or some sort of an attack from the bottom. It's all there because we've developed that on the necks of blue belts.
Right. I got one last, this isn't a question, but this is kind of a topic that brought up, and it relates to something we'd spoken about in the past. So somebody sent me a clip earlier this week, and it was in regards to pulling guard. And, you know, people bitching about like, oh, well, don't pull guard, you know, take me down kind of a thing. And his response was, I do jujitsu. Jujitsu is playing guard. I'm not a wrestler. Why do I need to take you down? I just want to get to the jiu-jitsu. So I'm going to sit down and play guard. What are your thoughts on that take?
My thoughts are how he said it. He's going to sit down and play guard. And I've said before that I don't have no problem with that. But you started standing.
Right.
And he went to a guard. Fine. If I'm going up against an Olympic wrestler, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull guard. I'm going to get blast up into the fucking ether realm. You know what I mean? No. Right. That's not a smart strategy, especially in sports jiu-jitsu. But we started standing. And to me, I feel like you got to start fanning. What my thing is, don't pull guard. Guard doesn't work in the street. That's street. Okay?
Right.
But starting from your knees in class is what I'm trying to get off of. People start from their knees.
Right. And no tournament starting on your knees.
Or just straight from a seated position with their hands on their palms up, trying to like looking up at the guy.
Right.
Like they're about to do a golden shower video. No, dude, stand up, grab your collars, then pull your guard. Pull to a half. Shoot a lazy single, then get to a half guard. Whatever you got to do. Just, I don't like the untraditional, like someone starting, standing, someone sitting. And I don't like the both starting from the knees. I think that is, I know if you have a smaller gym, that might be something you have to do because you don't want people to land on people. But I think that teaches bad technique. And if you're going to pull guard, you need to pull it the right way.
Fair. That's it, brother.
You think what I'm thinking?
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes. My name is Matt at Oast Nation BJJ. This is Kenny at Freak Party BJJ. Follow us on the Discord. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify. Follow us. Follow me on TikTok. Follow Kenny on BJJ Balance is on TikTok. Don't post nothing there, but you can give him a follow anyway. You're not going to post anything, but it's all good. Follow us anywhere you want to listen to us. We're Apple, Amazon, Pandora. We're there. We appreciate the love, appreciate the support, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh.